Ladies and gentlemen, come close. I'm about to stick my neck out on this one. I'm really going to stick my neck out on this one. How many number 10 cans do you need to supply your family with? Of course, that all depends on what time frame you're looking at. I'm going to use a year just as a really round figure. You might want to store for less time. You might want to store for a longer period of time. But here's where I'm going to stick my neck out. For a year, which is totally up to you, I'm going to stick my neck out and say more than 15 cases. And I'm going to just do the math real quick and tell you the reason why. A number 10 can will hold somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 pounds of product if it's a fairly dense product like flour or powdered milk. That I have to go check a book someplace, but it's someplace in the neighborhood of 5 pounds, give or take a little. But not everything is going to weigh 5 pounds. I don't think you can get 5 pounds of oats in a can. I'd have to, again, go back and check. I'm going to guess less than 3. And egg noodles and that kind of thing are going to be less than 5 pounds. So if every can held 5 pounds, and it won't, depending on what you have in the can, and you had 6 cans to a case, that would be approximately 30 pounds of product in a case of 6 cans. 30 pounds of product times 10 would be 300 pounds of food. 30 pounds of food times 15 cases would give you 450 pounds of food. So I'm going to say more than 10 and close probably to 15 to supply the calorie needs for a year for one person. So if you're talking about a family of 4 and you wanted to cover a year, and you're going to use those averages because not every can is going to hold 5 pounds. But if you wanted to use those averages for a year, you would need 15 for the first person, 15 for the second person. That would give you 30. And 15 for the other two, that's another 30. So you would need 60 cases, roughly, give or take a little. Approximately 60 cases of number 10 cans of food for a family of 4 for a year. So if you wanted to do a food storage for a 6-month time frame for one person, I'm going to get myself all confused now. If you wanted to use a 6-month time frame, you'd be in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 cases for 6 months for one person. So do the math and figure out. You can do the math more precisely if you figure out exactly what you have, how many pounds in a can. So those are very rough estimates, but at least it's a starting point to give you some kind of an idea, pound-wise, what would be required calorie-wise. Some people burn way more calories. We have a family friend, a young man about 20 years old, who eats about 4 times as much as my son eats. So he would need a lot of cans. He would need 4 times as many as we need. My son would weigh 600 pounds if he ate what that child eats. But he doesn't. And I don't have to feed this kid unless he's willing to garden. You're gonna have to do something if it comes to the point I have to feed the friend. We're gonna be hurting for certain. So that's a very basic brush over the topic, but it gives you a starting point. God bless your efforts. Bye.